this specific instance, at least, the allegations speak to the fact that some of these individuals first met at some of the
Hello, hey, hi, social media family. Being whatsoever racist, but then not necessarily being a whatever walks of life, factions, society, or lifestyle preferences, and being of the old and young alike of both the two sexual genders, representing not only the human species, but then, nevertheless, likewise, as well, all the same, the global community. Wait a minute. Sorry about that. Maybe let's just start over again. On three. Hello, hey, hi, social media family, being a whatsoever racist, but then not necessarily being a whatever walks of life, factions of society, or lifestyle preferences. I mean, you have got to recognize and realize people's places and things, being at the wrong place at the wrong time, can or could possibly have some and such rather serious consequences. So I say to you all, being of whom among yourselves, in addition of the old and young alike, representing both of the two sexual genders as we have it, the human species and the global community within this post 911 era of a new millennium of apocalyptic day and age, and where the doomsday clock is now at a few minutes to midnight, compared on to how formerly, previously, or prior to then it was at a quarter midnight for these rather biblically prophetic times. Okay, sounds better. Sorry about the delay or the mishap or whatever. I have said, Prince of Peace continue regularly in mind, compared to how the Prince of Darkness attempts to confuse it, as he himself, the devil and his demons, the evil one and his minions will come in many forms and fashions, especially in the likes of a proverbial neighbor from hell, public nuisance of a problem neighbor, faggotty or closet-faggot. Excuse my language, and pardon my French. Bitch ass son of a bitch. Well, so I say to you all. But then, regardless of whatever I could speak upon, either one thing or another, or if I were to speak upon one subject matter of the issue at hand, of a rather problematic case or situation of rather extenuating circumstances, or if I were to speak upon a given argument with the many different views and opinions associated with or representing some of such, of the pros and cons thereof, be it a controversy or not, that is yet to be resolved if it has not been already, or be I were to speak upon a couple, 3 or 4 more topics of discussion to be debated, some of such subject matters. Then don't kill the messenger. I'm just here to deliver, and hopefully with that much less uselessness of the sweetest of profanity, much rather than instead with that much more cuss words, to simply say. And therefore, hopefully, that much less like someone or such a one playing a part of the devil's advocate as a lesser two evils, being a prodigal son, compared to how the worst or worstest of two evils would be of the likes of those being of whom are among themselves, being of whom would be considered as being placed in the category of or classified as being of the worst or the worstest of unbelievers and non-believers, being of deceivers who pretend to have become or pretend to be believers in God, as in Christians, a.k.a. Protestants, and therefore they themselves would likewise, as well, all the same, be considered as being the worst or the worstest of closet devil worshippers, being of whom make up the majority or most churchgoers of whatsoever religious denominations, from the pools to the pulpits of members and visitors alike. Whereas I'm one of those persons that do believe that to be the case compared to others may tend to differ. Or so I say, regardless of whether or not that my person is speaking correct, proper standard English grammar of the American dialect of some such qualities and quantities or not. But then, nevertheless, now that I've gotten the preliminaries or the basic intro as an introduction out the way, basic, or whatever, then let me jump right into things or get to speaking upon something to begin with, regardless of whether or not I want to speak upon, a couple, few, or four more for that matter. As you notice, the title to this particular present aired broadcast of mine, where the title reads, I think, so I paraphrase my quote exactly. I think it's the second day of self-quarantine. Yes. I mean, I'm not taking any chances, though. I have paid visits to medical facilities, premises, of properties for its atmospheres of this one and that one. Facilities, regardless of whether it would have been public or private, for vicinity area, neighborhood communities, whereas one doctor was telling me one thing, another doctor was telling me something altogether different. But like I said before, stay for record, so I do. So again, whereas I'm not taking any chances, especially when certain people or persons within the present building where I'm at paying annual monthly rent, if not likewise utilities, I know I'm paying home phone service fee bills as well, all the same. Do not take this here global pandemic seriously, especially when you have certain brothers who know who they are, of non-white males, being of whom want to disrespect the 6 feet social distancing plan, program, policies, and procedures. Like when I'm coming into the building, like most recently, certain brothers, they want to hold the door while I'm trying to come into the building with my bicycle or bike, and I didn't appreciate that. Whereas the next time, I'm just going to back up and into the building through the other entrance that would likewise serve as an exit way, all the same. Because you got to keep the distance, the distance. Because we are involved in, as the government ref to, or we all have become subject to experiencing a global pandemic. Whereas our president had at one time or another, had called it what you call the corona Chinese virus, or the corona Chinese COVID-19 global pandemic. And that's not right to write off a whole race of people's persons. That is up until the time he had most recently, more or less, give or take, some days, weeks, a month, had rephrased that title that he had given to it of a name by calling it the Corona China virus. And that's a good thing, to show that he's less racist. Although he did not denounce any racist redneck organizations when he had that, political debate with the political challenger of another presidential candidate that wants to, ascend the presidency of the U.S.A, that wants to become the next resident or tenant of the White House, and speaking upon some such other matters, so I say, before I were to get back to something that I spoke on much earlier. And whereas the present political challenger of a presidential candidate of a former VP is no better than the present president of the USA that we have now. Or whereas I myself, in my own personal views and opinions, suspect him to be even worse, because the very reason why I say this here is because, whereas the present president of the USA in times past, like years ago, when a great controversy of a social issue had developed and become a result some assault each other, and vice versa, etc., or the developments become the results of, etc. Whereas he himself was saying that he think that the 4 non-white black males who were, charged with having sexually assaulted or raped a white girl, as in Caucasian woman within the city of the Big Apple, meaning of a sister city to the Windy City, as we have it here for the Midwest, otherwise, should be hanged by their balls, or dicks, or pricks, or penises. They should be castrated or hanged, period, from a rope tied around their necks. And that was up until the time that the 4 young black males, or adolescents or teenagers, were acquitted of all charges, whereas only to find out that the present president, was before then he was just a businessman. His personal views and opinions were non-valid or invalid, then, because all 4 young black males were acquitted of the sexual assault charges or rape charges. Whereas Slow Joe, upon the other hand, being about presidential candidate who is challenging the presidency of our present president of the USA, have went a step further. Whereas back in times past, years ago, he had Congress, the House of Representatives, and the Senate pass a bill into law that would condemn non-white brothers, particularly, specifically, and especially black males, to what would be considered as the death sentence in his own right, so far as, whereas if we were to get our 3rd strike against us, we could do a lifetime in jail. It doesn't matter whatever the criminal act or the crime could possibly become or be. Even if it were to have merely stolen a chocolate candy bar out of a 5 and dime or dollar store that would send us up the river, up Crap Creek, without a paddle, in a boat with a hole in it, on a one-way trip to nowhere but what could possibly be considered as damn hell on earth, which would describe any jailhouse setting, or crazy house for that matter, for atmospheres to be possibly considered nationwide, citywide, statewide, nationwide, or worldwide for that matter. Yeah. And that's the presidential challenger that we have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? And whereas I had done my own early voting, I didn't vote for either of the 2 presidential candidates. And likewise, I didn't vote for either of the 2 vice presidential candidates, because I didn't like the options, the choices that I would have to decide on. I think I told you all about this in time past, whereas before I lose my train of thought, because I was speaking upon something else before then, and whereas I'm trying to remember how did I get off on talking about presidential and vice presidential political candidates. Anyway, though, to wrap things up so far, this subject matter. Sorry, you all have to bear with me. I'm feeling quite up under the influences, a little bit up in the weather. As I was saying, in regards to, as you noticed, the title to this particular air broadcast. I can remember. Let's see. Well, anyway, these are some crazy times. We have to be especially careful with the changing of the guard, you know, here and there. And then most recently, I have heard in the news how some white supremacist secret society or organization has attempted to kidnap one of our own U.S. or American mayors, governors, something like that. That's pathetic. So these are the times that we're living in, you know. So in getting back to some and such other, I was saying how certain brothers, but they're not only them, but certain white boys at that, with their faggoty or closet faggot bitch ass sons of bitch asses, they're not respecting the social distancing rule, regulation, plan, program, policy, or procedure either, you know. And say if somebody were to haul off and bitch slap their asses and bring them to the damn censor, then you could be charged with an assault charge, you know. Yeah. So and getting back to some such other, I've taken the liberty to self-quarantine myself, you know. Whereas this is supposedly the second day, because I had seriously thought about doing so yesterday. So this would make it the second day, I think. I guess, well, I think it is, give or take. Yeah, some such hours. Because this here, you know, virus or pandemic is not playing. People or persons should take this seriously. Unfortunately, not only a group of white persons, but a group of black persons, and then some, I don't know so much as a Hispanic and Asian person. You know, neither of those other two groups or races or peoples is not taking it as seriously as it could. I'm not saying that. I mean, you have some within all races that are taking it seriously. You have others within all races that are not, you know. When they be holding block parties or beach parties, knowing that this shit is killing more than quite a few people, a person. This fucking shit is not only fucking up lifestyle, but fucking up lives. You know, let me phrase it. Sorry about that. It's not only effing up lifestyle, but it's effing up lives, you know. And you got these damn effing idiot super spreaders out here. Fucking shitheads or fucking pieces of shit. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm caught up in my emotions at the moment. Sorry. Let me phrase that. Then it further destroy my good testimony in Christ's name, as I am supposed to believe in God as a Christian, a.k.a. Protestant. You know, not Catholic, not supposed to so-called Jehovah's Witness, not supposed to so-called Latter-day Saint, or one who is affiliated or associated with and representing any of those, you know, false religions. You know, and all roads do not lead to heaven. All roads in this world may lead to Rome, but all roads in this world don't lead to heaven. Don't believe the hype. Believe what you want. Otherwise, you find yourself in a lake of fire, damn hell, come the end of your life, while you're on this last journey leg of life, while you're on your last leg for the journey of life. What I meant to say, Chris P. continue to regulate my mind, compared to personality to confusing. So anyway, though, I'm getting back to some and such other. You know, we're living in the day and age of super spreaders who just don't give a F, you know, don't give a damn, don't care, you know. They out here like living like, you know, like they living in some kind of a dream or something. I don't know, a fantasy. They're not taking reality seriously, you know. They out here spreading this F and BS all over the world, you know, having their block parties and beach parties, you know. Though I'm one of those persons that suspect that this here virus or pandemic is partially man-made, but nevertheless, if I'm not saying that if it's not to be learned about expressed from my own personal views and opinion, whereas I did not say that. But I believe that it's altogether natural because I did say I think that it's partially man-made and therefore it would be partially natural. So why jeopardize yourself and others? Why risk your own life and others' lives by being out here like Sarah, having a nonchalant, laissez-faire attitude about this here, like it's nothing. I mean, this corona-faggot-virus or COVID-19 homo pandemic is what I call it. Is not something similar to the flu. It's worse than the flu. Okay? This shit is out here killing other people or persons at an alarming rate to be compared on to what was devastating in its own right, practically and possibly upon the same level in times past before we got a grip on it, before we had stemmed the tide of it spreading any further so far as the HIV, AIDS, faggot, STD, or homo STD, that nature. And do excuse me, you are pardon. Excuse my name, pardon my French for using. I'm trying to use using alternative cuss words, which is not mentioned in God's word, the Bible, the basic instruction before leaving earth regarding making reference to salvation and deliverance in Christ, our Lord and Savior, the Messiah, deliverer. Let me rephrase that then, and saying that further the story of my testimony. This F and BS is not playing, or let me downplay certain cuss words of an alternative nature. But UMFers, UF and idiot MFers that's out here misbehaving, acting out, not taking this here FBS seriously, you need to be shot, Quit spreading that FBS, You damn super spreaders or whatever races and whatever walks of life, factions of society, lifestyle preference. Y'all just need to chill out. Take this here virus or pandemic seriously. Go quarantine your damn self somewhere, or at least respect y'all. As I say, at least what y'all should do is respect the social distancing. It don't make any damn sense when other people or person are trying to do the right thing and y'all out here carrying on like there's no virus or global pandemic of a nature as we have it for the present. Jeopardizing not only your lives but others' lives. Y'all need to stop that. I say y'all just need to stop that FBS. Yeah. I mean, that's a damn shame, though. I mean, like, whereas lately, other non-white male black brothers have been like not respecting the social distancing in regard to me. That's probably why I'm feeling a little worse than what I had felt before, whereas I was seeming to get better, Then this year was I'm having to take it upon myself to self-quarantine myself behind this here, because other brothers want to get all up in your face and not respect the social distancing, be it for atmospheres or places of businesses or mass transits with as many different bus and train routes, or for the building where I'm at now as a resident or tenant, paying annual monthly rent, etc. I don't appreciate that. I'm like, what you trying to do? Kiss me or something? Damn, what, you like that? You a faggoty or closet-faggot, bitch ass son of a bitch? What you attempting to do? Press your mushroom tip up against my mushroom tip? Gay homoish faggoty asses, Gay homo punk faggot ass. Gay homo faggot punk asses, closet faggot punk asses, Just get me to think about how at one time or another when I was in the military, this one black brother was a closet faggot, that's supposed to be one of our superiors, And that at one time, he wanted to fix my belt to my pants, to my military khakis and ways. He was on his knees and so forth. Wanted to fix my belt. I said, no, that's okay. I do it myself. And then he gets mad because he couldn't do it like as if he was attempting to unzip my pants and attempt to make it seem like he just attempted to adjust my pants and so forth. And then on a slide, pull down my undies, my underwear, so you can see how big my dick is, salivating at the mouth like a canine of the animal species, or like a mad dog foaming at the mouth with rabies. I said, nah, I pushed his hands away. I said, that's okay, I do it. I said, well, go ahead and do it. And he walked away all mad. And then there was a white boy I suspect to be other like this kind. That's supposed to be, either a fellow private or a superior. I can't remember. Yeah. You just get me thinking you got a lot of gay guys in the military. Although President Donald Trump is supposed to kick them out or trying to kick more of them out or kick enough of them out. Yeah, more than quite a few male card carrying members to the l.g.b.t community who are still in our own U.s. American military. And that stinks. I mean, it sucks, It stinks. Yeah. Anyway, though, getting back to some of such other. So, like I was saying before, so I said, I'm self-quarantining myself, especially after I had paid a visit to this one free-eating spot of a soup kitchen, moonlighting as a food pantry, as more than quite a few of them do. And then I'm hearing that one of these here political candidates had come down with some or such. And from there, I started to, once again, contemplate taking much more seriously this here virus or pandemic, regardless of how I had supposedly been cleared in the past, I know that had I not gone to, I know I had most recently went to this one facility of a branch library, and I was supposed to be cleared where she did do the thermal imagery test or to check your temperature, and I was cleared. And then for fasting paper, after having gone to this one soup kitchen, I mean, though they practice social distancing and wear the mask and so forth, but I get to thinking, still in one of them atmospheres and a rather impoverished, poverty-stricken, dysentery neighborhood community that is predominantly of the ethnic minorities, as in of the black persuasion. I'm hearing that this one black brother of a politician had come down with it, and now he's supposed to be self-quarantining. So I think his name's supposed to be Willie Wilson. So I said, damn. Well, let me self-quarantine myself, Yeah, let me self-quarantine myself, because this shit is real, It ain't no damn joke. Let me phrase that. This F and BS is out here, and you got these super spreader MFers, effing idiots that's not taking it seriously, having their block parties and beach parties, Now, if I was a serial killer, I get a hold of a semi-automatic rifle, put it on a tripod, and then set it up and point it in their directions, and then just let it rip. Talk about the St. Valentine's Day massacre. And say, if y'all don't give a damn about my life, I don't give a damn about y'all's either. Out here super spreading that F and BS, this corona-faggot-virus or COVID-19 homo pandemic. Stop the madness. Take your asses somewhere, at least practice social distancing, if not, quarantine your own damn selves. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not trying to die before my time under any circumstances, as including particularly specifically, especially, while in the presence of other people or persons who are not even so much as respecting the social distancing, let alone how much less would think to self-quarantine themselves, the damn selves, you know what I'm saying? Which don't make a bit of damn sense, Just get me thinking about how they would make me feel like I've been raped, if they're not respecting my rights and privileges to live, my right to life, as well as their own. You know what I'm saying? Then speaking upon that last, so while I was mentioning in regard to more or less use what is it, parallel, I don't know how to say it. So far as rapists and pedophiles or male sexual predator monster catchers is concerned. Got a lot of them MFers or FNs in their own right. They're not respecting social distancing. They out here telling them to find for themselves a Vic, like they're saying. I don't give a what this virus or pandemic is like. When my dick get hard, I gotta stick it and stuff it into a pussy or poontang by any means necessary. I gotta make some bitch or whore offer that she can't refuse. Be it of a woman or a girl child or someone be like talking about, or even if it's a boy child, My dick is hungry when Seymour is hungry. When a monster is hungry, gotta get fed. He's still out here raping bitches and hoes, raping women and children, not giving a care. So they give them plenty of F dash CK, forcing themselves on their victims, their prey of women and children who become the focus of their attentions, be it the likes of gay pedophile Catholic priest wannabes or not, depending on, what is to their taste, to their liking, out here acting like, drunks on a bottle or hypes, drug addicts on a fix, like they becoming subject to experiencing DTs or whatever, or withdrawal symptoms. They don't get some soon enough. The very minute they come into contact with a prospective, possible and potential victim, they're like, how drunks that need another bottle or hypes that need another fix be shaking and so forth. That's how they'd be like. See someone to their liking. Be looking left and right. Make sure nobody comes. They pull their victim somewhere and then they give me this, damn it, bitch, they got these damn clothing. Be like the real life quagmire. I can't get it. They bust another. Oh, that was good. That was great. Even if they have to attack their victims like this shit before the fella, quit doing all that screaming! Shut up, be quiet! Don't attempt to throw a monkey wrench in this program! Don't attempt to stop this because it's happening! Shut up, I say, damn it! Bitch, oh, shut up! Don't make me kill you! Don't make me strangle your ass to death! Beat your ass to death! Shut up! Bitch slapping them and dance off. Shut up! Get it! Oh yeah. Oh, that was good. I recognize it really. That shit is out here, man. You know what I'm saying? But the worst is rapists and pedophiles are all these damn jive ass preachers. For their different religious pulpits, This is what I think of the majority of preacher man. Get out my damn face. Get off my back. Leave me the damn hell alone. You think about that one willingness left feeling. Nigger. S.o.b. bastard jack leg preacher man cussed me out in this nigga church in a nigga neighborhood. You know, over mere damn cell phone. If I had to choose between the lesser of two evils, I would rather be kidnapped and raped, molested by a bunch of closet faggots, rapists and pedophiles who are gay, and be listening to all that jab ass preaching come from the majority of preacher men or whatsoever religious denomination. Get the F out my damn face. Leave me the damn hell alone. Especially after that one wilderness left fulfilling nigger preacher man cussed me out as nigga church that he presides over in a nigger neighborhood community. You know what I'm saying? If I had to choose between the lesser two, I'd rather be kidnapped by some racist redneck white boys and hung from a tree in the backwoods or some city, suburb, or town down south than listen to any of that damn religious hype F and BS, you know, because my worst enemies are these damn religious preacher men or whatsoever religious denomination being the majority of them. False brethren, false prophets, and antichrist, or devils or demons in any religious pulpits, talking a bunch of shit. Talking a bunch of effing religious hype BS. I don't want to hear all that. Get me reflecting upon the one wilderness left fulfilling nigger preacher man that cussed me out his nigger church within a nigger vicinity neighborhood community. Not that all black preacher men are all the likes of this kind. Not that all black churches are the likes of that kind that he presided over. Not that all black vicinity neighborhood communities are the likes where he himself was at. Dishing out all that religious hype F and BS of his. And his jive church that he presides over. His jive ass. You know what I'm saying? A jive neighborhood. One of those poverty stricken and crime ridden ones, though it is supposed to be making a comeback, regardless of the criminal factions within it. It don't preach to me. I mean, I may be alone, but I'm not lonely. I'm not desperate. Okay, but they may not be like trying to get some encouragement from certain religious channel stations on the radio or television. They be like ready to kick you while you're down. That's how I look at it, because that's what more than what seemed to be the case. That's a fact of the matter. Like Moody Bible Institute. A Moody Bible Church, called Moody Baphomet Institute, Moody Baphomet Church. Talking all that F and BS, how they encourage. They don't encourage, they discourage. That's one of them jive ass religious channel stations that really be like kicking you when you're down. Moody Bible Institute. They full of F and BS, or they full of shit is what I mean to say, or full of SH-T. But I don't want to further destroy my testimony in Christ's name and what I have done so enough that is already. They full of F and BS. Rephrase. They full of F and BS. If I were to go to Moody Church, it'll only be to see if I could score, get me some pussy or poon chain or whatever bitches or hoes in that count. And as the worst of the worst bitches and hoes are of a religious nature. The worst is cock teasing and the worst is nymphomaniacs are to be found in churches. It don't matter, or whatever religious denomination. And as they can compare on closet nymphomaniac Catholic nuns and mother superiors. Though Catholic nuns and mother superiors don't sexually assault or rape or molest boys as much as gay pedophile Catholic priests, but they sexually assault or rape or molest boys enough in their own right. They're some of the most freakiest, not the much more, not more freaky or much more freaky or freakier, but some of such of the most freakiest bitches and hoes in the world are Catholic nuns. Catholic nuns and mother superiors are closet nymphomaniacs, you know. I remember back in the day when I used to stay at one of these here all boys home, something like that. Not so much of the bad boys home, hopefully, but whereas these here brothers like non-white males, some of them were like Puerto Ricans. They said, man, Catholic nuns and mother superior, they give some of the best head and some of the best pussy. Man, at this one camp where me and my homie was chilling at, man, we used to screw Catholic nuns and mother superiors on a sometimes on a daily and nightly basis. Yeah, we used to screw them quite regularly. They would come into our dorm that night and they get to sucking our dicks and setting the pussy out to us, and we'd be dogging their asses. Catholic nuns or whatever races, Catholic nuns and mother superiors or whatever races. And Catholic nuns and mother superiors give some such of the best pussy, as well as some such of the best head, they were saying. Like, what? Yeah. Said, man, we used to screw so much Catholic nun pussy and mother superior pussy, it was no joke, man. Not just of white Catholic nuns or white mother superiors, but then of black Catholic nuns and black mother superiors and Asian Catholic nuns and Asian mother superiors and Hispanic Catholic nuns and Hispanic mother superiors. And man, we used to be all up in their pussy. In the midnight hour, I could feel you pounding before get them to give us head, like ram, riding power, driving down the other way. Man, we used to be engaged in the foreplay and sexual intercourse with Catholic nuns and the superiors, practically and possibly just as much as Catholic priests were like dogging them out where we was at. We feeling on our dicks or pricks or penises, watching Catholic nuns and mother superiors go to and fro for the atmosphere. And I said, trying to get some more of that. Like checking them out from behind. That big ass. You look at the pussy prints and them Catholic habit. It's that time again. And they raise that up and pull their panties down. We'll be all up in it. As well as be getting head from. I'm sorry, y'all. Now I know I have destroyed my good testimony in Christ's name, but I just tell it like it is, you know. Anyway, though, y'all, yes, on the last note of interest, just as I would, give the greeting and speak upon some of such matters, for whatever subject matter, topic of discussion, or given argument to be debated, with many different views and opinions, the pros and cons thereof. Or be able to speak upon a couple, 3 or 4 more for that matter. But then last but not least, I will give a closing, as I usually do. You know how it is. You know, I have to force myself to say it. It don't come naturally to me. But then if you haven't gotten Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, I would hope that you would think to do so now, while the blood is still running warm in your vein, by recognizing and realizing what he himself had done upon the cross of Calvary on the hill of Golgotha, suffering at the hands of some such Roman soldiers upon the orders of their religious peers, being the Pharisees and Sadducees or whatever superiors for that matter. But then nevertheless, whereas he himself had permitted himself to, be crucified to fulfill biblical prophecy, become that Lamb of God to take away the sins of the world, to provide that salvation like nobody, nothing else can. So that if any of us being of whatsoever race and whatever walks of life, faction of society, lifestyle preferences, being of the old, young, like both two sexual genders, representing both of the two sexual genders, males and females, and the global community within this post-911 era, a new millennium, the apocalyptic day and age, where the doomsday clock is at 1:15 midnight for these rather biblically prophetic time, where the profess some such faith in them, from there we become to be blessed in one God or another, more ways than one. First and foremost, with the salvation, then with his deliverance, but you have got to get his salvation before you cross on over. Otherwise, you got nothing coming. So far, blessings is concerned in any regard. And your final destination would be hellfire.